Hi guys, so I have Ella with me today and we are going to go over how to teach the spin trick. So this trick is when your dog spins in a circle in front of you, ideally in both directions. Anytime we're teaching a trick that requires movement, we want to make sure that we're able to do it on both sides just to create some balance. Speaking of balance, this trick is excellent for working on balance and coordination. And it's a really simple one to teach. We're just going to use luring. And so all you're going to need are some treats and a wide open space to work in. If you have a smaller dog, it doesn't have to be a huge space, but just make sure there's no furniture or anything that's going to get in the way. And what you're going to do is you're going to put that treat right on their nose and you're going to hold that at that eye level. Okay, so we don't want them cranking up their neck to look at you. You want them to be following your lure. So I'm going to go clockwise with Ella. So I'm just going to put that treat on her nose and I'm just going to, good job, spin her around. And when she gets back to the middle, that's when I release that treat for her. So we're going to do that again. You see, I'm only going as fast as she's going. So she kind of knows this, but she gets a little bit lost. You want to go very slowly here as you're teaching this. There we go. So once we've got that motion down and it's relatively smooth, what we're going to do is we're going to switch. We're going to fade out that lure. And we do that by alternating between a fake lure and a pointed finger. So I'm going to lure her. Ready? Yes, good job. Very nice. Now I'm going to do the same kind of motion, but with no lure. Yes, good girl. And deliver treat from the other hand. Okay, so we'll do that again. Yes, good job. And treat comes from the other hand. Now, for a lot of dogs, what you're going to want to do is if they have, not great balance and not great coordination, and if they've never done this before, what you're going to have to do is break up the full circle into different segments. So instead of pulling the whole entire circle around and then releasing the lure, we're just going to have them turn their body a little bit and then we can release that treat. And if they stay in position, we can do that a little bit more. Just want to get a little bit of that back end moving because hind end awareness is not something that all dogs naturally have. If your dog is getting lost, slow down the speed of your lure because you're probably going too fast. Once your dog gets the hang of it, work in both directions, and you can start to add your verbal cue just before you give the hand signal. I use spin for one direction and twirl for the other. All right, so once your dog has learned how to spin, you faded out the lure, you got a verbal cue going, you can start to add some speed, and at the same time, shrink up that hand signal. So instead of having to do the full circle, you're going to slowly shrink that up until you are just going to be able to get a flick of the wrist. So, mister, you ready? Spin. Good boy. Spin. Excellent. So you can see I stopped that and brought it back about spin halfway. Excellent. So that is how to teach spin. As always, questions, comments, let me know. And check out the trick training library for more videos on how to teach your dog cool stuff.